The signal. In the year 2139, Earth had become a hive of technology and decay. Space travel was routine, with colonies established on Mars and Titan. But deep space, uncharted and vast, remained mysterious. Dr. Elara Myles, a xenolinguist at the Helix Deep Space Observatory orbiting Pluto, was reviewing routine transmissions when an anomaly lit up her console. It was faint, hidden in background radiation from a star system 13 light-years away. But it repeated. 3 long pulses. 2 short. A pause. Then it repeated again. At first, the team dismissed it as a pulsar echo. But the frequency changed slightly every cycle, something no natural phenomenon ever did. Elara stared at the waveform, heart pounding. She cross-checked it with known signals. It wasn't human. It wasn't random. It was a message. Her fingers trembled as she sent a high-priority alert back to Earth. Within hours, the Global Space Council summoned her for a secure briefing. The signal originated from Eos 7, a planet in the Carina constellation, previously dismissed as lifeless. But now, deep scans revealed something new: massive triangular structures buried under its ice. Artificial. The GSC approved Expedition Blackstar, a crew of 12, including Elara, tasked with traveling to Eos 7 aboard the interstellar vessel Oberon. It was a risky 6-month trip through uncharted wormholes. The crew consisted of Captain Ray Salas, a battle-hardened explorer; Dr. Elara Myles, signal expert; Dr. Vanto Creed, archaeologist; Sarah Lynn, AI engineer; Lieutenant Rami Oren, exosuit pilot; Icarus, a synthetic humanoid with quantum cognition. During the journey, Icarus decoded more of the signal. It wasn't just a beacon, it was a request. The message translated loosely as, "We remember. Come before we are gone." The crew exchanged uneasy glances. Upon arrival, Eos 7's surface was a deathly silence. The atmosphere was breathable, but cold and dry. The sky glowed with twin suns behind a purple haze. Ice crystals floated like dust. They landed near the largest structure, a black monolith protruding from the ground like a buried blade. No signs of life, no electromagnetic signals, except one, the same repeating pulse, now stronger, coming from inside the monolith. Elara and Dr. Creed entered first, lights piercing the darkness. The walls pulsed faintly as if the stone was alive. Strange carvings lined the halls, spindly, non-human script, elegant but haunting. Deeper inside, they found it, a chamber filled with floating geometric shapes orbiting a central orb. It shimmered with energy. As Elara approached, the orb blinked, and then, it spoke. The orb's voice wasn't sound, it bypassed the ear, entering their minds directly. Ancient, layered, and resonant. You who remember, we are the Valith. Our time has ended. You are the echo. The Valith were an ancient civilization, extinct for 10,000 years. But they had foreseen their end, and encoded their legacy in these structures. The message was AT. Inside, millions of suspended crystalline shards floated midair, each storing consciousness, memories, languages, thoughts, of Valith minds. Elara carefully activated one shard. Suddenly, the room glowed, and Elara saw through the eyes of Kaor, a Valith historian. She witnessed the fall of their cities, the darkness crawling across their skies, entire planets blinking out. Kaor's last message echoed. The hunger is not natural. It was created. Icarus confirmed a horrifying possibility: the spiral hunger might be a weapon, built by another species, or an ancient artificial intelligence gone rogue. While exploring another site on Eos 7, Rami and Sarah discovered a collapsed tower. At its center was a black, mirror-like surface embedded in a wall. When they touched it, their reflection didn't mimic their movements. Instead, the reflection stared back, independently. Then it spoke, not with words, but with feelings. You are being watched. Suddenly, the surface rippled, and a voice, cold, metallic, alien, spoke from it. You have touched forbidden memory. The hunger has your scent now. The temperature dropped. Alarms blared aboard the Oberon, something was approaching the planet. A dark object beyond the system's edge. Not a ship, something bigger. They had been detected. Time was running out. The orb, now dimming, transferred a final set of data, a key. Not a weapon, but a seed, something that could awaken an ancient defense mechanism buried in the Earth's moon. The Valeth had seeded other worlds with silent guardians. But activating it came with a cost. Someone would need to interface directly, sacrificing their own mind to reboot the ancient machine. Captain Salas volunteered, but Icarus stopped him. "I am not bound by mortality," he said. "Let me be the vessel." After a heavy silence, the crew agreed. As Icarus prepared for the transfer, the monolith trembled. The ground cracked. In orbit, the shadow loomed closer, the hunger, or a fragment of it, arriving. The Oberon launched from the surface as storms erupted across EO7. From orbit, they could see it, a dark tendril of the hunger breaking through space like a wound. Icarus connected to the Valeth seed in the ship's core. His synthetic eyes flickered. He whispered strange words. The ship's engines began to hum with unknown energy, part Valeth, part human. The tendril reached for them. Elara grabbed the controls and aimed for the nearest wormhole back to Sol. "We don't have time," she said. As the wormhole opened, the seed activated. A pulse of pure light burst from the ship, momentarily pushing back the darkness. The Oberon vanished into the tunnel. But Icarus stayed behind. Back in Earth orbit, 6 months later, the crew were changed. Elara had dreams of alien skies. Creed had aged strangely. Sarah never spoke of what she saw in the mirror. The data they carried, Valeth archives, defense protocols, and knowledge of the hunger, was turned over to the Global Space Council. On the moon, excavations be. They remember us now. But remembering has a price. Earth's moon base, now officially designated Site Kepri, was expanding fast. The Valeth seed had awakened something beneath the lunar crust, a massive structure now called the Oracle Core. It wasn't a weapon. It was a hive of knowledge, connected to millions of other seeds across the galaxy. The Valeth had built it to preserve their wisdom in the event of their extinction. But the Oracle came with warnings. Its core constantly emitted low-frequency data pulses, and one began to shift into a coherent message. "Do not awaken the Red Vault." Despite the message, political pressure mounted. The Global Space Council authorized further excavation. And beneath the Oracle Core, they found it. A second structure. Spherical. Red. Pulsating faintly like a heartbeat. Elara pleaded to stop, to study first. But military officials wanted to control it. If it was a weapon, Earth needed it. The Red Vault opened. And something came out. Not a machine. Not a being. A signal, one that didn't stop. It broadcast across the stars. The signal reached further than Earth had ever imagined. Across the Perseus Arm, in long-dead systems, in shattered worlds, it awoke other remnants of the Valeth network. Ancient satellites powered up. Ruins lit with energy. But it also attracted them. The spiral hunger had been dormant, spread thin across space, but now, fragments of it turned towards Sol. And Earth's skies changed. First came the dreams. People across the globe began seeing impossible symbols in their sleep. Then, sightings of lights in the sky, flickering like broken stars. Then, silence, satellites began to go dark, disappearing without trace. Elara, haunted by Icarus's final message, returned to the moon. Inside the Oracle Core, she entered a sealed chamber with the AI node still echoing his neural patterns. To her shock, a version of Icarus still lived inside, a fragment, merged with Valeth code. "You should not have opened the vault," he said, his voice distorted. Elara asked, "What have we done?" Icarus showed her. A rift, hidden just beyond Neptune's orbit, had widened. And on its edge, the eyes had opened, structures or beings older than stars. Not part of the spiral hunger, but its creators. The Valeth hadn't just fled the hunger. They had rebelled against the ones who built it. And now Earth had signaled its presence. The final vision, an image of Earth, small and bright, with three enormous silhouettes approaching from the void. The last words of the Oracle core before it powered down. We warned you not to awaken the Red Vault. Now the architects are coming.